Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing Across the Spiderverse, a film which has been kind of getting 5-star reviews across the board. Everyone is raving about it, apart from one review I read. And I always find it really jarring when you go into a film that has been that hyped up, because there is always just something at the back of your mind thinking, is it going to live up to that? For the most part, with Across the Spiderverse, I can see where all the praise is coming from. It feels like mature storytelling. It was surprisingly character-oriented for the most part. Do I think it is worthy of all the praise and unanimous 5-star reviews? Not quite. I do think it is being slightly overhyped, and I did find it slightly overrated when I did watch it. I definitely don't think it's as good as Into the Spider-Verse, but I still had a really good time with it. First and foremost, these films kind of became a staple trademark because of their visual storytelling and their visual styles and their ability to combine different visual styles and aesthetics. I really like the visual style of these films. I do think because there is such a fluidity and such an inconsistency with the colours and the way that they want to bring these structures and characters to life, it does at times struggle to feel visually grounded because of these various animation mechanics. But I do think it really works for the kind of style and tone that this film wants to capture. I think the main reason why I found this film slightly overrated was because of the structure of the story and the way that the narrative unravels. It is part one of part two. It doesn't quite feel like a definitive story in its own right. It does feel like it needs another part to bookend it, whereas Into the Spider-Verse did feel like its own self-contained thing. There is a sense of inconclusiveness that I don't think works as well with films as it does in TV series episodes or season finales. And at times I do think the narrative felt like it was meandering without quite feeling like it had a direct grasp of where it wanted to be going and what it wanted to be doing. But the saving grace of that kind of structural disjointedness for me was the fact that the narrative was so character oriented. The particular emphasis and focus on family and their kind of close-knit circles and their own individual struggles trying to reconcile these two different lives. I did enjoy the kind of antagonistic elements of the film, that there was no real kind of set villain. The Spot, there's not much to make of him, because even though you understand the motivations, he's essentially just a multiverse hopping, power-up. Miguel O'Hara, by comparison, is a really compelling character. I think having the head of this spider society be somewhat world-weary and somewhat kind of set in his ways provides a great counterpoint to Miles Morales and is just kind of hip optimism. So I did enjoy it. I think if you are kind of a die-hard Spider-Man fan in general, which I must say I am not, then you will probably adore this film. I think there's a lot of people who call the Spider-Verse films like the best Spider-Man films in general, including the live-action films. And as someone who finds a lot of flaws in all the Spider-Man films, I would definitely agree that the Spider-Verse films offer something much more richer and more compelling than a lot of the live action films do. I would just maybe fall short of labelling Across the Spider-Verse as perfect, which I know a lot of people are doing. It did just leave me wanting something more. I just don't think the ending of this film had the kind of mic drop, dramatic turn of events to land the way that I think they wanted it to. I do love the visual storytelling. I do love all the variants of Spider-Man. I think Spider-Punk and Spider-India in this film really stole the show. I love the way that it handles the multiverse storytelling in a very clear and cosmic way. It takes this really, really big, larger-than-life narrative concept, which for the most part falls apart in a lot of films, and makes it very accessible, very easy to follow, and it incorporates the multiverse into its storytelling in a really compelling way, which is more than can be said of films like Multiverse of Madness and Quantum Mania. I'm very intrigued to see where it goes, and I did enjoy Across the Spider-Verse. It is just not quite the 5-star experience for me personally, but if you have seen it, guys, do let me know what you think. Please consider dropping a comment and liking and subscribing to the channel. It's always a huge help for me, and in the meantime, we'll see you for the next review.